On today's edition of the Bluffton News, we'll meet the mind behind literacy volunteers of the Lowcountry, and we'll take a look at the Bluffton Bobcats' current hot topic, basketball. Thank you for joining us for the Bluffton News. I'm Anneliza Itkor. Let's kick things off with Bluffton's current headlines. Jody Dupuy, the artistic director of the May River Theater, passed away on January 21st. She was 79. Dupuy was a professional dancer who performed in the Broadway traveling productions of The Pajama Game and The King and I. In the mid-70s, she was the first choreographer at the Hilton Head Playhouse. In 2001, Jody co-founded the May River Theater Company with her husband, Ed. A celebration of life ceremony was held this past weekend, and memorial donations may be made to the May River Theater. The Bluffton Community Committee has been studying ways to alleviate crowding at Bluffton and H.E. McCracken schools. On Thursday, they announced they have whittled a list of possible short-term solutions. One option is to build a new elementary school off Davis Road. Another, to move 9th graders from McCracken back to Bluffton High School, which would require mobile classrooms and returning middle schools to 6th through 8th grade configurations. And yet another would be to build a new 2-story wing of 20 to 25 classrooms at the high school. The committee will meet again this week at Bluffton Middle School. It's expected to present short-term solutions to the Board of Education by March and long-term recommendations by May. A single vehicle crash in Bluffton early this past Saturday morning sent 3 people to Savannah's Memorial University Medical Center, 1 by helicopter and 2 by ambulance. The Bluffton Township Fire District arrived at All Joy Road near Burnt Church Road about 3 a.m. and found a 2005 Chevy pickup on fire. The driver, a 29-year-old Bluffton resident, and a 23-year-old man escaped from the vehicle. Both were wearing seatbelts. The second passenger, a 26-year-old man, was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the truck. Patrol investigators believe the driver lost control after passing another vehicle. However, it's not known whether alcohol or speed was a factor in the wreck, and the investigation continues. After an attempt to ban sweepstakes-style video gaming machines failed last year, South Carolina lawmakers are trying again. The Senate has passed a bill that would close a loophole that some say sweepstakes operators use to place the computerized machines in stores and bars. The bill is now being considered in the House of Representatives. The loophole they point to is a provision in the state's gambling laws stating businesses with beer and wine permits can hold promotional sweepstakes. State Attorney General Alan Wilson and State Law Enforcement Division Chief Mark Keel have deemed the machines illegal. Both have said there is no loophole, but have asked the legislature to clarify the law so sweepstakes operators no longer have that excuse to open. In the past year, SLED has confiscated more than 1,100 sweepstakes machines. The Beaufort Jasper Water and Sewer Authority Board of Directors announced Friday it released General Manager Ken Griffin effective immediately. Ed Saxon, who has more than 2 decades with the utility and is currently the Deputy General Manager for Engineering and Operations, will assume Griffin's odd jobs on an interim basis. Brandy Gray, who heads the board, said in a statement that there will be no discussion about Griffin's departure, citing privacy concerns. Griffin began his tenure at BJWSA in late August 2011, but shared managerial duties with former Chief Dean Moss before assuming full responsibilities in October of 2011. Griffin could not be reached for comment. And here's what's happening around the state. York County deputies have issued a murder warrant for 26-year-old Vincent Alfonso Bratton, who had been arrested Friday and released Saturday on a $30,000 bond. South Carolina Judicial Department records show he was charged with possession of marijuana, possession of a pistol, manufacturing drugs, and driving under the influence. Authorities say Bratton is now charged with murder in the death of 31-year-old Shannon Jenkins of Rock Hill, who was shot and killed early Sunday morning at his home. For more information on these headlines and more, please check out the media sources you see listed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. When we come back, Lynne Hummell of the Bluffton Sun takes us behind the scenes of Bluffton's top stories as we bring you hot off the presses, and we have the Bluffton Business Report courtesy of Shellie West-Hodges.
this smoked chipotle burrito's really good.
Yeah, my zesty cheesesteak burrito's great.
Are you familiar, Pete, with the phrase, don't mess with success?
Yeah.
Because this is not only messing with success, this is taking success to the cliff and shoving success over.
Success said, oh, please, I'll do anything, leave me alone.
These burritos didn't even hear that. They heard, oh, put, and that was it. It was just like, whoa. Egg everywhere.
Wake up to sirloin steak and fluffy eggs with the new zesty cheesesteak and smoked chipotle breakfast burritos. This is how you Sonic.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. Lynne Hummell from the Bluffton Sun joins us now. So Lynne, the big topic as we head into this time of year always seems to be politics, and I understand that there are 2 candidates vying for Weston Newton's seat.
That's right, the fun continues. A couple of political newcomers actually will be vying for the District 9 seat that was vacated by Weston Newton. 29-year-old attorney Tabor Vaughn and 47-year-old Mark Lawson both have lived in Bluffton for a long time. Vaughn is an attorney who grew up here, and he says he spent a lot of time outdoors, and that has colored his affection for the Lowcountry here, our nature in the May River. Lawson moved to the Lowcountry in 1992 and built a small business before working in real estate, and he is now a sales and marketing manager. Lawson says that his years in business here, plus his knowledge of the Beaufort County Comprehensive Plan, make him the better candidate, while Vaughn says that his experience as an assistant solicitor and already knowledgeable of government and his roots in Bluffton make him the better candidate.
Well, clearly that's something the voters are going to decide. When is the election, Lynne?
It's Tuesday the 29th.
All right, so get out and vote. It's always very important.
Absolutely.
All right, now firefighters. What's going on with our local firefighters?
Well, we talked a little bit before about the plan to hire 24 new firefighters, and that plan has now been approved on first reading by the Beaufort County Council. The new employees would be assigned to the 2 currently unmanned stations at Palmetto Bluff and at Colleton River Plantation. And this addition would avert a dramatic insurance rate increase because of the lower level of services currently in those communities. Now, among issues still being discussed are the fairness of taxing the entire district to pay for new firefighters in the 2 upscale communities, as well as questions about future property tax increases after an April reassessment.
And those are a couple very big conversations to be had. What's
Sure.
the next step?
Well, it will be continued to be discussed by the Governmental Affairs Committee of the Council, and it will come back to the full Council for 2 more readings.
Okay. And now moving on to a slightly more positive topic. Restaurant Week is coming to Bluffton. We look forward to this all year long.
We sure do. And this is the 5th annual Restaurant Week, and it's sponsored by the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. And it's a great opportunity for residents and visitors alike to get out and try some new restaurants or visit some old favorites. And there are more than 60 local restaurants that are participating with a price fix menu through February the 2nd. And you can get special prices and sometimes even a 3-course meal for as little as $25 a person. And some of the local Bluffton restaurants that will be participating are Captain Woody's, Claude and Uli's, Hana's Sushi, May River Grill, Sigler's, and Sublime Prime.
60 restaurants, that's a lot of restaurants. Now, how do our viewers get all the information about Restaurant Week, Lynne? You
have to go online and go to hiltonheadisland.org and then click on each restaurant and you'll get their menu. You can also make reservations that way.
Wow, they've made it very simple this year. Well, thank you so much, Lynne.
Thank you.
We always look forward to our Bluffton Business Report because in spite of a challenging business climate, Shellie West-Hodges manages to bring us positive news, and this week is no exception. Shellie, this week we have not 1 but 2 brand new businesses opening their doors.
Hi, we're here celebrating another grand opening and ribbon cutting for a great new Bluffton business. I'm here with Dr. Chris Reynolds of Dynamic Dentistry. Dr. Chris, tell us a little bit about your business and what brought you here to Bluffton.
Well, my parents moved into Sun City about 5 years ago, and I wanted to come down here to be close to the family. And we just really fell in love with the area, proximity to the beach, and I have kids that like to play out there. And so we decided to come here and start the dream project of Dynamic Dentistry, and here we are opening up.
Now tell us a little bit about what makes your dentist office here a little more special. There's some new features that you have to offer here for the public.
Sure thing. We've got a lot of technology in here. There's a lot of TV monitors. There's a lot of overhead surround sound iPod hookups. You've got massaging chair capabilities. that all kind of accent the comfort levels of a comprehensive dental experience where you can get, complete health care for the entire family, from maybe somebody who's an aged population to somebody who's maybe 3 years old for a child, whole family.
Well, that's great. So anybody can come, children and adults. And tell us where you're located here so folks know how to find you.
We're at 12B Arley Way, Suite 104, which is located just near the intersection of Highway 278 and Buck Island Road.
And that's here in Westbury Park, folks. And congratulations, Chris, and we wish you all the best success. And thank you for opening your business here in Bluffton.
Thank you.
Hi, we're here today for another grand opening and ribbon cutting for Vintage Market. And here with me now are Holly and Eugene Lobes. Holly, tell us a little bit about your history here in Bluffton, how long you've been in business.
The store has been around for 3 years. We just recently moved to our new 10,000 square foot location, 28 Kitty's Crossing, and it is a consignment shop, so it is not thrift. We're a little bit different than the thrift stores, but we have lots of great furniture, used and new, and we also have anything pretty much that you could fill up your home with, lamps, pictures, and we even have a little bit of jewelry too.
Well, good. Now, Eugene, how long have you folks been in Bluffton, and what brought you to Bluffton?
We've been here in Bluffton for 6 years, and we came down here originally for real estate investment and eventually started looking for small business. And we met a lady that was involved in consignment and eventually bought her business from her.
Well, this is a great store, and what a great opportunity for people who are maybe getting new homes and need new furniture to kind of check out what there is on consignment and some of our other stores around here in Bluffton. So this is a great opportunity for them to find something nice and at a good rate.
Oh, definitely.
And how is the location working out for you? Because you were at another location. This is your new location.
Yes.
How's that working out?
We were on Bluffton Parkway before, 4375 Bluffton Parkway, and that was great because you do get a lot of traffic there, but this on 46 has gotten us a lot of visual space because it's a bigger location. You can see it from the road, and it's been really good. It's been a good move.
Well, congratulations to you both, and it is a beautiful store. Please come out and check out Vintage Market.
Tara's Men's Den, located beside Tara's Salon at the Moss Creek Village, is a full-service salon for men only. Open Monday through Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We offer haircuts, color, highlights, waxing, and treatments for hair loss. No appointment necessary, so come enjoy a relaxing atmosphere for men only, and don't forget senior discounts every Wednesday. Call or visit us today. Our number is 843-837-5555.
Today on the Bluffton News, Nancy Williams from Literacy Volunteers of the Lowcountry joins us. So Nancy, you and I have a bit of a personal history, and I'm delighted to have you here on our news. Tell us a little bit first, what does Literacy Volunteers of the Lowcountry do?
Well, Literacy Volunteers of the Lowcountry has been serving this county for almost 40 years now. But essentially, we equip adults with the reading, writing, speaking, and math skills that they need to be successful in their lives as members of their families, the workforce, and the community.
I think it's very easy when you live in a kind of compartmentalized community like we have here. We lose sight of the fact that there is illiteracy with adults in our area. How big of an issue is this?
Well, it's a critical issue and not one that gets enough publicity. But every 10 years, the United States Department of Education does a survey of adult literacy. And in 2003, they released the results for Beaufort County that indicated that about 11% of our adult population, which is over 10,000 adults, lack the most basic literacy skills. And it's easy to estimate that an equal number, or even more, have only the most basic skills.
Wow.
And in neighboring Jasper County, which is part of our economic development area, 27% of their adults lack basic literacy skills. So it's an enormous problem.
It really is. Now, what programs does LVL have to offer?
Well, we have 3 core programs. We offer adult basic education for adults who are not functioning at a secondary level, pre-GED and below. We offer English for speakers of other languages, and then we have workplace literacy programs whereby we can tailor a program and take it to a workplace for the benefit of the employer and the employer's employees.
Gotcha. Now, You have devoted the last 11 years of your life as the executive director of LVL, and I heard a rumor that you are getting ready to retire.
I am.
Now, what changes have occurred as a result of your leadership?
Well, I've seen, of course, a lot of change, and I don't take total credit for everything because this organization really has been strengthened and nurtured by many people over its almost 40 years of existence. But in the last 11 years, we have opened 3 new learning centers. None of our centers are the same as when I began. We've been responsive to the growing needs in the community, the changing needs in the community. So we have additional and newly located centers throughout the county. We've also done more work in Jasper County. We've made better use of technology, I think, and then I've tried to align a lot of our goals and interests with workforce development goals in this area. So those are some of the bigger changes, I guess, that have occurred.
I will look forward to seeing you Thursday in handball practice. It was
All
great
right.
having you with us today.
Okay, thank you very much, Anneliza.
You bet. I'm now pleased to welcome Brett Macy with a topic that is very near and dear to all Bluftonians, high school basketball. So Brett, why don't you start off with a quick overview? How's the season progressing so far?
We're playing pretty well. We got a late start due to football again, but those have positives and negatives to it. We're 11-6. We're 4-2 in the region. We currently sit second place behind Somerville, which is good. This is our first year in 4A classification, so we were a little worried about the bump up in competition, but so far we're playing pretty well.
What do you think is the biggest difference between 3A and 4A competition?
Really, it's on a nightly basis. We have to spend so much energy to win a basketball game within the region, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that it takes a lot out of us. I think we saw that in the last 2 Saturdays after region play. You know, we struggled on those nights due to the fact that we have to put so much energy into winning every single game within our region.
Are the players finding the transition to be really difficult?
I think once we went up to Ashley Ridge a couple weeks ago, we got down 20 early. We fought back, cut it to a 3-point deficit with just a minute to go. We were down a couple starters that night, but I think they figured out that we just can't show up and win like we did last year.
I know you're in second place, which is great. Now, what do you see for the future?
Right now, we got a huge senior class. 8 of our 11 guys are seniors. We got a couple juniors on the JV team. We're developing our players, I think, at a pretty good pace. Our middle school was 9-1 and won their area, the Beaufort County area. So really the future's bright. We might have a couple years where we'll have to fight here after this big senior class leaves, but you know, down the long run, Bluffton basketball is in good hands.
All right. Now, being the leader of the team, what do you find to be is the biggest challenge?
Really, I think this year was having them prepared every single night. Like I said, we had the last couple weekends, we played Saturday against a rival after a big region game Friday night, and that's having them ready to play on a nightly basis. We can't let our guard down. We have to be ready to play Tuesday, Friday, and then some Saturdays. That's really been the biggest challenge this year, but I think in the last couple weeks we've really responded to it, and we're starting to play pretty good basketball, especially within the region.
Okay, so we've looked at the future, and speaking of the future with upcoming players, how's the youth program progressing?
Good. We had our baby Bobcats last home game. We had about 43 kids in that, so that's good. I always do my camps in June. The interest is there within our community for basketball, so that's always a healthy sign. You want to keep those kids involved, so that feeds your program on a yearly basis.
That's great. Well, this is very exciting. I know that all of Bluffton's going to look forward to seeing how the season turns out. And Brett, thanks so much for taking time out of your day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
When we return, everybody's favorite entertainment reporter, Rodney Vaughn, serves up some terrific ideas for our free time fun.
Okay, so it's a romantic dinner for 2. Now, I've already cut some tomato. Time for the vinaigrette. You are going to love this. Okay, we need some sesame seeds. My favourite pan. Now, what's really important is...
With Merilad cabinets, you'll discover function that's irresistible.
Good thing I'm not the jealous type.
Thanks a lot. And I'm here today at the May River Theater in Old Town Bluffton, and joining me is Barbara Clark. And Barbara, we're excited to announce the opening of Annie at the May River Theater.
We're excited too.
This is the first time that Annie's been on stage here at the May River Theater?
That is correct. That is correct. It opens February the 8th, and it runs through the third weekend in February, closes with a Sunday matinee. I believe it's the 24th. And we've been rehearsing since right after Thanksgiving, because we have 13 children in the show. And so we tried to involve them over their Christmas vacation, which I'm sure their moms loved, because you know how children get over the vacation time. But they were great to work with. We have 6 actual principal orphans, and then each one of them has an understudy.
Oh my gosh, wow, that's nice to have understudies in the children's production.
Well, you have to, because they get a tummy ache, they can't go on stage like we do when we have tummy aches.
There you go. Now, this is a musical, obviously, everyone knows that about Annie. Has it been difficult to work with children doing a musical?
No, because we've tried to segment their rehearsals, and they actually learn their lines and their music before the adults.
A little easier than us.
They're like sponges, right? They're like sponges, Probably the hardest part with children is keeping them contained while we're trying to, while we're on stage.
Wow. So you're directing this production. Is this your first chance at production?
No, it's not my first. It's not my first time directing. It's my first time here directing.
Wonderful.
And so I have a theater and performing and a directing background, and I directed in South Florida. And I love being on stage, so it's hard to get me off the boards and directing.
Right. Well, last time you were involved with Annie, you were on stage.
I was on stage. I was Miss Hannigan, which was a fabulous role. And it was, she's so miserable, and the children just love her. I would autographs like crazy.
Well, you have to react with the children, so that's wonderful. We want everyone to come out and see the show. As Barbara mentioned, it opens this weekend on Friday evening, and we want everyone to join us in Old Town Bluffton at the May River Theater. And Barbara, I certainly appreciate you joining me today.
And get your tickets, because we've sold a lot of tickets already.
All the parents and grandparents, I understand. Thank you so much again.
Thanks.
Back to you.
Allow me to introduce you to the Bluffton News Pet of the Week. Bentley is a wonderful 2-year-old Shar-Pei mix that has been burned all across the top of his back. He was also diagnosed with tetanus, but all of his medical needs have been taken care of, and he is now ready for adoption. For more information on Bentley and other adoptable pets from Noah's Ark Rescue, please call 843-540-6755. Thanks for watching the news program that is all Bluffton all the time. I'm Anneliza Itkor. We'll see you next time.